Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the mobile den of Brewers Cafe, 1125 Bainbridge Street, right here in the capital city, Richmond, Virginia. Appreciate everybody who's in the room, that's rocking with us. A lot of folks in, a lot of folks out, a lot of moving parts. We appreciate those folks that are checking us out on Facebook Live, those folks that are checking us out on TuneIn and on Streamer, as well as on www.legacyinternetradio.com. All right, so we had a lot of discussion, a lot of interviews, a lot of stuff that we did. We had Coach Ship, we had A.J. Brewer, who joined us in those last two segments. Now we're going to have some fun. Going to take a walk around the Shan Pipple room. We're going to get the Legacy Internet Radio crew and the Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J crew an opportunity to jump into the discussion as we take a walk around the Shan Pipple room where we got the lava lamps, we got the
leopard skin
rugs, and we got, what else? We got the high heel shoe boots with the fish tanks on them.
The beaded curtains.
Yeah, that's what it is. So, Mr. 3375, you have the con, as they say on Star Trek. What you got, brother?
All right, y'all, welcome to the Shan Pipple room. I'm going to throw this out. I want Mr. J to chime on this one first.
Oh, well, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, just to keep going on with what we've been talking about most of the night, I want everybody to chime in on how important is it for us as black men to get back to the community.
Ooh. That's a mouthful, that Mr. 3375. I had to look at the shirt again. Well, I mean, first, I will say, in my opinion, why it's so important is I'll testify a little bit about me and then expound on why I believe what I believe. And I'll, pick on what AJ said earlier. Like the biggest, especially if you have boys, and I have 3 sons, the biggest thing you can do is to show them an example. Because without an example, you are in the wind as a, not just a man, but in America as a black man. Because we have so many different dynamics that as a man we have to deal with than the white man does, or than any other ethnic group has to do, being that we're in America. So we have to have those conversations, about police with our sons. We have to have conversations about why we depicted a certain way on television and the media and things like that. So it's our jobs as black men to show the opposite of that, And once we become, folks say, conscious, you can no longer perpetuate what the stereotypes and the things that the country wants people to believe black men are. So that's why it's important for us to be involved in our sons' lives. It's important to be involved in our community, because perception is reality. And if we allow television, media, writings, any type of intellectual perpetuation of what they want to describe you as, then we're giving away that right to be able to determine how we're perceived. So just to piggyback off the last segment, when AJ was given with Marcus and AJ's interview, is that I hope a lot of brothers hear what he said, because at the whole time I'm sitting there shaking my head. Like, I remember, when my kid was being born, it was like, and I was a kid, I was a father at 17, 18 years old, right. But I knew, I was like, well, he can't grow up like me, and he can't go through the same things I went through in my community. So what do I have to do to make sure that my kids don't do that? Right. And see, once you instill that in your sons and in your daughters, because Marcus J got a daughter, the community as a whole has a deeper sense of a deeper consciousness and a deeper sense of community that will help perpetuate us forward.
Right. Big Brother Joe, the question was, how as black men, how can we, influence the community? What can we do to help the community?
Well, listening to what Grizzy just was saying and listening to the conversations that we had tonight, it's very simple. First of all, as a black man, we have to be here. we have to be visible. We have to be those upstanding citizens that we're supposed to be. It's funny that a lot of times, and Coach Ship made a comment to us when we were off air earlier about the fact that where we grew up. And just because you grew up in a certain area, in a certain place, does not define who you are or what you will become. It's your mindset, it's your drive, it's your hunger. And you have to give that back to your community. Not only if you're a father of one, but it's a village of us that is a father of many. That's the way I see that. So that's one of the things that I think we have to do, giving back, being that open-minded person. Sometimes you might, and it might sound a little funny, sometimes you might have to talk your way out of a situation. Sometimes you might have to fight your way out of a situation. And I don't mean physically knuckle up and fight, but fighting can be on so many different terms. Intellectually, you have to be able to speak. You have to use your diction. You have to be able to outthink and outmaneuver what people want you to do in society. So if we show that, then we can actually perpetuate a better society.
What you got, Big Mark?
I think it's important. I mean, you guys all kind of really touched on it, and it's clear. I think men just have to be men and show young men how to be men. And the biggest part of that is presence. Like, you got to be there. You know, and that's why it was so cool to listen to AJ talk and tell his story. You know, a lot of folks aren't going to be able to do like he did and say, you know what, I'm going to leave the job and find something else to do that I'll be able to completely dedicate my time solely to having a lifestyle that will allow me to have access to my child whenever I want to. Like, I commend the brother for doing that, because that's what we need. You know, we need to go to the school. We need to be seen at the school. We need our children to grow up and know that they might roll up down the hall and see you one day. I'll tell you a story. I was 16 years old. I went to St. Anthony High School in Jersey City, New Jersey. And my father told me that I couldn't get my ear pierced. And it was important to me to get my ear pierced. I just wanted to get my ear pierced. I don't, you know, it is what it is, right?
This the 80s or the 90s?
This is in 1990.
Yeah, that was there.
It's in 1990. And anyway, long story, I'll shorten it. He basically put his foot down and said, don't get your ear pierced. So me and my homie ended up getting magnets, where you put a magnet on the back of the ear, and then on the front it looks like you got an earring. So that's what we used to do. And I remember this one day I was at school and I was on my way to class, and I walked down the hall and my father was standing there. I was like, what the hell you doing here, man? But he was there for a completely different reason, but he just happened to roll up in the school. And I think that all of the children should think that it's possible that they pops might roll up in the school for any reason. You know, I know my daughter knows that there might be any reason why I might roll up in there. You know, that's what is being a man is all about, and letting the children know that you're there. That's the key.
Yeah.
And actually lead them.
Yeah, and I do that all the time. You know, my son 5. I know y'all see me cheesing with the pictures all the time with him. You know.
Yeah.
But I pop up at his school. I pop up in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Teachers
pop up in
love that.
kindergarten.
Yeah, I do that too, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I eat lunch with them. The other day I popped up and I got sucked into helping out teachers I got sucked in. You know what I'm saying? But it was a great experience, but they tired me out. I'm old.
Oh, yeah, it'll tie you out.
You old.
Yeah, I've done that.
You old.
They tired me out, but yeah. But yeah, I pop up there, but he knows I'm there.
Ask you a question. You
Yeah.
said you popped up. And it's funny because I pop up all the time. It's funny how to watch all the other kids when I walk in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, Lil Jay, he sat there with me. He just sat there like, man, this is what I'm supposed to do.
This
Everybody
normal.
else kind of was like, click.
Clean, yeah.
Yo, they
Yeah.
snapped too. I was like,
Information.
yeah.
Well, you know you're doing something right when it's normal
Yeah.
for your child to see you at school. Ash, you want to jump in?
I do. I do agree with everything that all the gentlemen are saying here, but I wanted to kind of add on what men could do from a woman's perspective. And one of those things is to be teachers But when I was a teacher in high school, I saw how much the women had to work. But then I also saw how the male teachers would instantly command a respect. And that's something that I had to learn to do that you all could do naturally.
Right.
And I think what a lot of black men don't know is that you are so valued in our community. Despite all of the I'm independent and women can do all of these things on our own, the truth of the matter is men are so valued and are desperately needed in our communities. So if you all could, it would be nice if you all could be teachers and to teach daily. And in your teaching, teach people that are not your children, that are not your daughters, teaching other women in a non-sexual way to offer that validation from someone who says, I am a man, I want to be your peer and not your lover or your whatever, insert here. But I just want to share my information with you. What I'm seeing is a lot of brothers who get put on, quote unquote, or get some sort of knowledge, they end up going and sharing that with another community. And I'm not even talking about love, I'm just talking about the knowledge.
Yeah, I feel you.
And so a lot of times our sisters are left to learn for ourselves and educate ourselves, and it's like, well, wow, if we could kind of stick together. And I really want to try to pull the love out of it because it's so easy for us to say, oh, they only want to be together for, sexual reasons or relationship reasons. But if you guys could stay in the community in a way to teach, in a way to share your knowledge and your experiences, I think that would help a lot.
All right, and to add on that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
This is Neek. I just wanted to add on to that, and Ashley, you made a very good point that we do need more men in the community to be mentors to our young ladies. I had a very, very good friend of mine whose life ended, tragically short this past year, but he was a basketball coach, and he coached girls basketball for 14 years. He didn't have chicken nor child, but his dream and his aspiration was, hey, there are too many fatherless girls in this world, and we need to step up to the plate as men. And this was him talking to me one day. He said, I feel it's my duty to step up to the plate and not replace their father. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is mentor these girls, let them know that there's more out here than just what's in between your legs, okay?
Right.
And to always use your head first, and to know your worth, know your self-worth. And if nobody else tells you that you're beautiful, I'm going to tell you that you're beautiful.
Right.
I'm just begging you all, please do not leave your girls behind. Don't leave the women behind. And understand that a lot of times when the women are screaming, I'm independent, I can do all this on my own, it's because there's a lack of men. And a lot of times we do need you there. We do want you there. When you guys go to jail, we go to jail too.
Well, I
You
ain't
see
going
what
to
I'm
jail.
saying?
Ain't going to
You
jail.
guys, well, it's the truth.
She
Maybe
right,
y'all
though.
not in this room, but there's a lot
of
of men who do.
mentality.
Yes, when
Yeah,
you
she right.
guys fail, we fail too.
But you know what?
It's like we have to build together. We have to build together is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, it's great. That's wonderful. But you know what? A lot of times our ladies push us aside. They don't want that help. They want to be that superwoman.
Yeah.
You know what? Sometimes, and I'm sorry that people might catch this the wrong way, but fall back a little bit and let me be the man that I am.
That's right.
I mean, I can take charge. Oh, I can. I can say it.
Yes.
I mean, ain't no half-stepping with Marcus
The
Jackson.
truth, you are telling the truth. And again, I'm not speaking for all ladies. Like,
Right.
I'm sure you're not speaking for all men.
Right,
You know, I just say when you go to jail, we go to jail too. Everybody here said, I ain't never been to jail. So,
No,
I
I
mean,
said I ain't
clearly
going
I'm
back.
not speaking for all people. I'm just saying in the community, just what Nick said, we do need the mentors. We really do. And if y'all can also mentor the girls, because the truth be told, if you catch them young enough, they'll grow up knowing the value of everybody.
All right.
And I can see that in the schools, in
Right.
high school, because really a lot of times when you go into the high school, we would chart them off as saying they're too late. It's a lost cause. We should have got them in elementary. Middle school is the end road. By the time you get to high school, it's too late. But I could see one man come in. We had one math teacher. As soon as he could come in the room, every kid that was acting up started acting right.
Oh, you know
Girl
what?
or boy.
But
It's just...
And there's truth to that, because when I see mentoring programs, it's men over here in one section mentoring strictly young men. Then
Nice
over this
mentoring
corner,
sisters.
it's women strictly mentoring women. Why can't we come together as men and women and mentor the young men and women instead of just separating? So
Well, I don't want us to generalize that, because we have a lot of men in our communities that do both.
Right.
I've raised girls.
right.
Trust me, and I raised them street smart,
Yep.
and I raised them book smart.
Right.
Now, all the time, sometimes they don't want to listen. Men get that rap because we're the majority of the time the disciplinarian in any situation. So you have to look at that. And I'll say this, that when a mother and a father's love is different, it's a nurturing and a building. My job is to make sure that you're able to be self-sufficient. While I show you love, you're supposed to be able to be self-sufficient, self-knowledgeable, and taught. It's a lot of selves out there. You have to have self-esteem. You have to have self-worth. And as a man, as a father, I instilled that in my daughters and some of their friends. We don't have those community houses anymore where you could go to one house or two houses and everybody's in the household, because now a lot of times we're broken up. We either have a parent or a parent. We don't have a community of parents anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, your point is great, and that's lovely. We got to do that. But and AJ said that I couldn't say what I said, but he knows I'm telling the truth. You have to sit there and you have to be a man first. If you don't know how to be a man, you can't teach anybody anything.
Right.
Well, there's I know for me, there's traditional roles. Some might say conservative. Like, I'm more conservative in my home than I am outside my home.
Right.
Outside my home, anything go. But in my house, there's some conservative, values there, that and some lines, whether they be male or female lines, that I wouldn't expect my daughter or my niece or something like that to hold them accountable for. So I always teach my sons that, women can do just as much as a man can do.
Right.
But why give the woman that option to choose? To
Right.
choose. You should, when you of age and you're dating or something, open the door.
Right.
Just chivalrous. Am I saying that right? Help
Yes.
me.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Those type of things are just common respect. Also, just to speak on, I always believe charity begins in home. Like, if you have to take care of what you can immediately touch before you can go out and propagate what, because that's how you can learn and find your strengths and your weaknesses. And, in a home full, 4 men and 1 woman, like, my kids all know that, if my wife comes home, in a mad, crazed mood, don't mess with mama. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for me. It's not hard for me to describe, but what I'm saying is like, to your point, Ashley, is yes, we should always instill in our sons the respect for women and teach them. Like, I taught my sons, like, got them National Geographic to show them the bones of the first woman from Africa that looks like their mother, a little darker probably, but just things of that nature, so they can, once you instill those type of seeds in their head, they have a deeper respect for women, so that when they come across, and I teach my sons this as well, don't bring I used the Bill Cosby show where Vanessa brought what
Dabney's Bricky.
Dabney's, yeah. When he brought Dabney's home, and Bill Cosby, brought the trash can. It was like,
Garbage
look, this
can
is
lid, yeah.
the garbage can was like, this is what you brought to me. Like, don't bring that home, because
Right.
Dad's not going to accept that. So they know that you have a higher level, a higher respect for women, especially sisters.
Cool. I appreciate everybody input. We're gonna take our final breaks, and we're gonna come back with the rants and
No more
and
Shan
the
Pipple?
close. The Shan Pipple is done.
Can I get
Drink
a
it
Shan
up.
Pipple drink?
I had a lot more, but we can't be here all night. I
Okay,
got a
I'm
plane
gonna
to
have to
catch
come
in the
back for
morning,
that.
so we'll get back right back with y'all after the break.
Word.
What up, everybody? It's your girl, Jody Smith, JMM, Jody Music Mixtape. It's a classic. Get at my dude, Marcus J, on Legacy Internet Radio. Ain't no half-stepping. Get your own JMM mixtape. Hit me up, Jody Smith, on Facebook, Jody Music, Jody Music. Or you can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter. They're both Jody_804. Get at me on YouTube. That's Jody the Artist. Check out some of my footage, some of my videos. You can listen in on SoundCloud, Jody Smith Music, or just give me a call at 1-262-JODY-804. That's 1-262-JODY-804.